صل على المصطفى حبيبنا محمد عليه السلام. اللهم صل على المصطفى حبيبنا
Career Compass with Kelly Ramazani.
You are the greatest man we look up to. And I stay faithful, I learn my lessons all through you. The final prophet, he led the way, so we stay true. I give my all and everything. Allahumma salli ala al-Mustafa Habibna Muhammad alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala al-Mustafa Habibna Muhammad alayhi salam.
Radio ALANSAAR.
When you hear that, you know it is about time. It is another Saturday morning in the company of Kelly Ramazani. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wakey, wakey. It is sunny and bright outside. Thank you for choosing 90.4 FM because that is where you're at in case you tuned in by mistake. It is Radio ALANSAAR 90.4 FM. Like I said, if you are in Durban, 105.6 FM. If you are in PMB and anywhere else around the world on www.alansar.org.za. My name is Kelly Ramazani, and I do this every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., keeping you company, but more than just company, I inform you of what's the latest in the business world. On this show, Career Compass, we talk about careers that are advancing with the rapid rate of technology, those that are in demand locally and globally. We talk about careers that are, of course, going away so that you do not end up studying an irrelevant degree if you are in school. Speaking about being in school, we also talk about how to pick the right career, job opportunities, side hustle, you name it. This is the place to be. But today we are doing things slightly different. We are going to address the elephant in the room. Yeah. We are aware of the discriminations that take place in the workplace. We are aware of the abuse. We are aware of the negligence. We are aware of so many other contributors to mental health. And this happens everywhere we go. But today we are going to be focusing on especially the workplace because we spend most of our time here. About 8 hours or more, or 12 hours for those that are in the healthcare departments and some other departments. Or maybe 24 hours if you're in radio and politics. We are forever, even if we are off air, doing on air things. So we are 24/7 working. So your work does play a big role of who you are, how you view yourself, of your value, and how you communicate with people. We always say this. Whatever stresses that you face at home, don't take them to work. But also, whatever stresses that you face at work, don't take them home. You might be wondering, how is that possible, Kelly? Because my parents or my spouse is the people that I talk to. They're the closest to me. So when I get home, I need to tell them the tea. I need to tell them what my manager is putting me out there because if I bottle in, it might not turn out to be good. I understand. And I'm the last person on this planet Earth to judge you. But I want you to remember this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has gifted all of us a unique, special gift. A way that we can add value and impact in society and wherever we go. Okay? And every Saturday I say to you, find your purpose. Of course, as Muslims, our purpose is to worship Allah. But through those acts of worship, how do you give back in the community? What's your specialty? Find that and use that to contribute. But once you do find or identify your purpose, your talent, you need to understand that it can overpower you, and sometimes it can be a challenge to you. Your talent can be your biggest nightmare if you do not know how to lay the boundaries, if you do not know how to train yourself, to discipline yourself. So, we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. I don't want to give out all that juicy information because we'll be joined by a beautiful, incredible woman, and she is outspoken and bubbly. You'd think she was meant for radio, okay? So she'll be talking to us about the effects of gender-based violence on self-image, especially in the workplace. You are in safe hands because your Saturday mornings are about to get better.
What could you say? Where could you go? If time stops, you are standing alone. There'll be a light of space you never seen before. I'm trying to tell you what you already know.
You're listening to Career Compass on Radio ALANSAAR.
When did you apologize or ask him to go? Now you're standing in this place, it's time to show all the deeds that you've done. The horn has been blown. Yeah, Rabbana Atina في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا ربنا آتينا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا. What could I say? Where could I go? Where you're the most high, the king of that day. I'll be standing. Oh my, forgive me for my wrongs. Protect me. In your shade, don't let me slip away. Have you ever been this bad and prayed as you cry? When did you apologize or ask him to go? Now you're standing in this place, it's time to show all the things that you've done. The phone has been blown. Yeah, Rabbana Atina.
Nadeem Muhammad, Rabbana, you are with me, Kelly Ramazani, and I see your messages. I will definitely read them all. 0609041056 is the number to keep in touch with me from now up until 10 o'clock. Now, are you a procrastinator? Are you? Yes, no, maybe, sometimes. Okay, I am. I used to be. It's not a flex, okay? I'm not bragging about being one, but I realize how this bad habit held me back for so long, for many years. It hindered my progress, and this is the reason why I want to help you get rid of it. I want to help you empower yourself and learn how to stop procrastinating. Okay. We all know some of the advices that we've heard: break the task down to smaller tasks so that it's not overwhelming, so that you are able to do the little things that add up to the bigger picture. Yeah, we've heard that. We've also heard the importance of time management and planning in advance. And I've read almost every book there is about procrastination and watched every YouTube video there was. But then I realized that I was the problem. I'm sorry, it's a Saturday and we should be happy and bubbly, but here I am calling you out. You are the problem. Yeah, you are the problem. Until you are willing to adjust your mindset, until you are ready to say, hold on, I've wasted enough time. I really want to get better now. I'm ready to do it. Then only you can do it. Okay. And one day I woke up upset and I was like, that's it. I'm done. I'm done sleeping on myself. I'm done being this mediocre. I'm done being this average. Okay. I want to be something and I want to be somebody. And alhamdulillah, through prayer, through practice, I somehow decided to um, head towards a better path. And that's why I'm sharing this tips with you. Now, the first thing, you need to make up your mind and you need to be willing to change. So a shift in mindset is the first step to anything. If you wish to become better, if you wish to gain weight, if you wish to lose weight, if you wish to start saving, if you wish to budget, if you wish to take on that degree that requires 8 years of your life, or maybe 10, if you wish to go back to school, if you wish to start a business, the first thing is your mindset. You have to adjust your mindset. You have to be willing to want to do it. When he says, like, I'm definitely going back to school. We wish you all the very best. He has already made up his mind. So definitely doors will definitely open. That's the first thing. The second thing is to understand what's the root cause of it. Like, what triggers your procrastination? Because the mind is designed to help you survive. It's not designed to help you grow and become better. No, because we all fear change. We all fear a discomfort outside our comfort zone. Okay, so the mind is designed to just keep you safe, keep you there where you are familiar with the territory. Okay, so what is the root cause? What causes you to feel overwhelmed, or is it maybe boring, or you don't have enough information? So it's like, I don't know, I'll wait until I get enough information so that I know what I'm going to do or how I'm going to do it. Or is it that fear of doing it wrong? You're like, oh man, I don't know. I want to perfect this. Okay. Or is it just because you are addicted to the rush and you like it last minute? Okay. I'm that person. If there's no deadline, oh boy, we might have a problem there. But I have faced my anxiety and I've realized the reason and I've identified my triggers. So that's the second thing that I'm going to say to you. First, make up your mind that you're ready to change. Two, identify the trigger. Okay, identify the root cause of your procrastination. And three, yes, break it down. Break it down. If you are planning on starting a business, for example, okay, that's a huge task, right? You need to identify your target audience. You need to identify your market, your niche, your suppliers or manufacturers or retail, whatever you are going to go into. And there's lots of research. There's lots of planning that needs to go in there. So yes, it can be easily overwhelming, but you need to break it down. Every day, do something small that will contribute to that plan. It will make you feel good about yourself that, hey, I'm doing something that is heading in the direction that I want, or I'm doing something that is helping me become the person that I want. So each day, break it down into smaller tasks, divide the larger projects or exercises into smaller bits so that it's easier for you. And the most important part, which I love, 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 rewards. Reward yourself. Reward yourself. Celebrate your little progress. Have a little something. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what I like or how I reward myself, but I've got a few things that I love doing and they bring me so much of joy. And if I know I've got a project or I've got a task or I've got something to do, I tell myself, okay, we're going to do that. We're going to do what makes you happy. Okay. This, what you look forward to, we're going to do that. But first, we complete this. And my brain is like a little kid. I don't know if I'm the only one. You let me know if your brain is the same, or am I just, I don't know, forever young. So my brain gets really excited and I get to do the task knowing that I'm looking forward to a reward. I'm looking forward to something that is guaranteed to make me feel good and make me feel better. So those four have been highly effective to me. And I suggest that you try it and let me know if it will help. Of course, there is more, but then, you know, they say less is more. So I'm giving you less because up next, we've got an interview about self-image and, of course, the effects of gender-based violence on your self-image. I'm seeing myself on TV. Oh wow. Okay, ALANSAAR is advancing. Hey, I really love this for the organization. You can catch us on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube as I'm live watching myself. This is very weird, but okay. Up next, we are going to speak to Pumzile, who's going to speak to us about the effects of gender-based violence on self-image. This is Career Compass. Stay with us.
Welcome to Simplex Radio. Visit our showroom for the full range of car audio. Our TV department carries top brands with quality LED panels, full HD to Ultra HD, and now the experience of Super Ultra HD. Visit our theater rooms and transform your home with brands like Onkyo, Integra, Denon, Boston Acoustics, Yamaha, and more for quality audio visual experience. Now available, full range of home appliances. A one-stop shopping experience. Call 031 306 4029 or Kenilworth Park, 202 Brickfield Road, Overport. Simplex Radio, the name you can trust.
WhatsApp us now on 060 904 1056.
They convince the world to believe that terrorists look like beards and thobes. Now, as the facade cracks, one martyr after another, the world sees through the broken windows and now knows the true face of terrorism. It wears suits and ties and smiles behind lies.
Career Compass with Kelly Ramazani.
اللهم صل على المصطفى حبيبنا محمد عليه السلام. اللهم صل على المصطفى حبيبنا محمد عليه السلام. You are the greatest man we look up to, and I stay faithful. I learn my lessons all through you, the final prophet.
We'd love to meet you. Pay us a visit. Radio ALANSAAR.
I give my all and everything. Allahumma salli ala.
Safe Adam, Allahumma. What a weird way to play my intro signature tune as a nasheed. But that nasheed should make you happy. It should make you think of me. Okay. Speaking about thinking of me, here is a message that says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dearest Kelly, alhamdulillah, and shukr to Almighty Allah for ourselves. Ameen. May your weekend be as blissful, beautiful. My daughter, Jazakallah khair. This comes from Tahira Lockett. Another message says, Assalamu alaikum. I wait every Saturday for you. Aww, I wait every Saturday for you. So who's waiting? I guess we're both waiting. Another message. Assalamu alaikum. What does? Oh, okay. No, I'll answer this privately. All right. It is Career Compass with me, Kelly Ramazani, every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Here we talk about all things career related, but more importantly, self-development. Okay, we're not just giving you tips on how to enhance your career, but also how to become a better individual in society, because that is what we need to do. We need to impact each other by bringing out the best in one another. Write that down. That's such a nice line. Sometimes I need to pay attention to myself when I speak. Wow, that was nice. Need to listen. Oh, okay. I'll write it out later. Okay, so we know that we are within the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, and it would be an injustice if we do not speak about this matter in South Africa. It is an epidemic at this point. You know, the stats are out there, the studies are out there, and we have said so much regarding this topic. But again, like I said to you, everything begins with a shift of mindset. It is upon us as a community, as a society, as an ummah to decide that, hey, let's create a safe place for one another. Let's create a safe place, I would say, for our girls, but gender-based violence also affects men. You know, there are men who are victims of this, and it is harder for them to come out and speak in the open or in the public because men don't cry, they say. I don't know how true is that, Boniso.
No, it's not.
Okay, Sponisa says it's not true. Men do cry. They're human beings as well. Okay. So on the line, we are joined by a beautiful, bubbly, vibrant soul. Okay, at this point, we are now best friends. I don't know if she'll agree, but never mind. We're already friends. I already said we're friends. Okay, we're joined by Ms. Pumzile Michelle Zondi, who is the founder of Women for Women by Women, which is an MPO, and also worked with SAMRC as a transcriber. Ms. Pumzile, Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing? Are you with us, Pumzile? Okay, you're breaking a bit if you are speaking already, but let's try again right now. Oh, okay, seems to be a connection, a WhatsApp connection. Okay, we're gonna try and okay. Swanisa gives me a thumbs up. We're ready to go. Pumzila, you with us?
Yes, I am with you.
Oh, perfect. Loud and clear. Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing?
Salam.
Okay, this connection is really getting in the way. So we're gonna try and give you a direct call on our lines. Okay. And we are going to continue with this interview shortly. But do not break that smile, because I could hear from the way you greeted us that you were smiling. Keep that smile going. Okay. We'll get back to you in a minute. Right. So, like I said, today is the 7th of December. It is among the 16 days of activism on against gender-based violence. And we as a country have been trying to create awareness, have been trying to tell the people about the effects that this has on one's image, but not just the image, as the mental health as well. Now, we need to understand that coming out here on air and talking and talking and talking will not change anything. Okay, it will create awareness. More people that didn't know will now know how terrible this is, and it's a violation against human rights, by the way, if you did not know. But we also need to understand that it's beyond the words. It's the little things that we witness in our homes that we don't talk about. It's when mom or dad is upset and they yell at the other spouse in front of the kids, making it seem normal, that we grow up inheriting this kind of behavior, these kind of attitude towards life, that it's just vulgar. It's not as bad as a punch, right? And then that little vulgar builds into something else. And then that punch is better than a stab, right? And then that stab is better than a gun wound, right? So we base our traumas on we actually base our experiences on our traumas. Okay. We value that relationship we had with our parents or with our siblings or our guardians or caretakers because it's what we were introduced to. It's what we saw growing up. And that's how we define life. That's how we define ourselves. Okay. But enough is enough. And we need to learn, how can we break this as a society? I invite you into this discussion if you're listening to us on radio right now or via live stream or wherever. Share your thoughts with us on 060-904-1056. I believe we've got Pumzile back on the line. All right, perfect. Pumzile, my darling, assalamu alaikum, Hajra. How are you doing?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm doing well, alhamdulillah.
Perfect. Now, I wanted to touch on a bit of your background on how you reverted to Islam and your experiences in life, and you know, your knowledge and so much of wealth in wisdom in experiences, like I said. But I want you to do us that honor. Okay, just shortly give us an introduction of who we're speaking to.
Jazakallah. Well, you are speaking to Michelle Zondi, who has been a Christian from her early teen years. And if I remember correctly, I was 16 years. until at the age of 42, when then I was introduced into Islam. And when I embraced Islam, it was for me a swift transition because Christianity, I believe, had groomed me and prepared me for this journey and transition. And as a person that whenever I get an opportunity to be closer to God and to experience Him in a different way that allows me to also touch the lives of others apart from where I originally come from, I take that opportunity. So when that opportunity came through the late Mr. Malani, I said, if God can cause this man, prominent as he is, to see me as a person and see me as a daughter, introduce me to his family, and his family is so open and welcoming, being black, him being Indian, then for me, that is the love of God right there. So really, God does not see color, He doesn't see race, He doesn't see class. All God does is He gives love. And when you open yourself to that love, then you see more of Him, even in the light of Islam.
Absolutely beautiful, mashallah, beautiful journey right there. But now let's jump right into the topic that we have for today. Gender-based violence and the effect it has on one's self-image. Now, this is a very sensitive topic, but it is our duty to bring awareness, to bring the information to our audience, even though it might trigger some people. Can you tell us, in your opinion, how does experiencing or witnessing gender-based violence affect one's self-image and self-worth?
Immediately when you say that image, suddenly you become one. Suddenly you are fearful. Suddenly you seek a place where you can protect yourself. And also, when you look at the one perpetuating this kind of an act, whether it be a man towards a woman or a woman towards a man, that individual psyche will never be the same. It is almost permanently altered. And the way in which one views oneself is that of, I must have done something to deserve this kind of treatment. And that echoes so loudly that it goes straight into your subconscious mind, and it stays there, and it harbors there, and it grows there. And then it changes the way you look at society. It changes the way you look at yourself. It makes you become inferior and feel that I really deserve to be where I am. I really deserve this beating. I really deserve this type of treatment because there is something about me that caused or triggered this person to act this way towards me. So your self-esteem, your image, suddenly it goes down. And obviously how you view yourself is the way society will also view you. So yes, it really does punish your image, and it does take away your self-esteem to a very high degree.
You said something there that almost brought tears to my eyes, that internalizing blame or self-shame, that I'm deserving of this kind of treatment because there's something I must have done wrong. I don't think anybody deserves that, and it can be really hard for one to break free from this mindset that most times you are not, actually all times, you are not to blame. There might be a void, or there might be something that this person who is abusing you, is going through, or that they were raised, or whichever way. I don't understand the psyche, like you said, the psyche of an abuse. I really don't understand the mind. But for one to blame themselves, how does that affect their performance or productivity in the workplace?
First of all, when I now in a place where having been abused, I don't really like to use the word victim, but for a lack of a better word and for familiarity's sake, we will use the word victim. Because now I'm a victim of these circumstances, which I believe that I have a part in it. Hence, I am now reaping from that part, which I believe is my fault. Then when I go to work, when I'm in a working environment, I'm amongst in people that remind me, or to my mind represent the one who has done this to me. So when I'm a woman and a man is doing this to me, then when I see my colleague, my male colleague, I no longer relate to them as a normal person would, because now I have got a file in my mind that says beware. Because mostly the people that abuse are the people familiar to us, are the people closest to us. So we have a relationship, a working relationship with our male colleagues, with our female colleagues. But the minute something of that sort happens and is perpetuated by either party, then the manner in which I now respond to them is that again of being withdrawn, is that of isolating myself. I am less active in engagement, whether we've been having conversations, eating together. I'm no longer like that. And sometimes I'll be reluctant to go to a male counterpart in the working environment, whereby maybe I have to seek assistance of some sort. But now I think I'm too afraid to go there alone. What is the disadvantage of this? And you know, it's almost as if this thing of being abused has this aura that is created around you that makes another person sort of like, I can see that you have been abused, and therefore I will estimate you as victim. So it really does make a person to be withdrawn at work and not want to engage, and sometimes even dread going to work because they have to deal with this. And sometimes people know you're going through this, and they're looking at you in a way that they feel sorry for you, and you're also feeling sorry for yourself. So you don't really want to associate yourself with anybody, and that will decrease your productivity because you are lacking engagement. You are no longer acting normal.
Absolutely. Now, if one is, decreasing the productivity, of course, they are becoming a person with not much of an effect in the workplace. How will companies, now this is based on your opinion, how will companies or workplaces be equipped to support survivors or victims of gender-based violence? I know some companies might say, hey, hold on, I'm paying you to work. How you are abused, where you are abused, that's not my business. When you get here, the second you enter this premises, you come up with a workable or work ethic that will be, tolerable here, instead of having to revert back or go into or crawl back into that, withdrawal, like you said. So how can companies or organizations help with gender-based violence victims or survivors?
In my opinion, I would say that first and foremost, companies, they know about diversity. As much as there is a culture within the company itself that each and every employee has to subscribe to, which is outside of each person's personality, but they also need to take into cognizance that people come from different backgrounds, and these backgrounds that they come from will at some stage, to some degree, affect the manner in which they work.
Absolutely.
So if a company values its staff, values its employees, they will know that their greatest asset, apart from buildings, machinery, and everything else that they deem as assets in terms of accounting, is human resources. Because these assets that give value to them outside of human resources can never be deemed relevant or even yield to any form of production had it not been for the human resources, which is their staff. So it is very imperative that they create an environment where they have a wellness program, where they outsource a person, even a psychologist, that will from time to time, on a quarterly basis or on a trimester basis, depending on the dynamics of the company, that would come and just give a random assessment of every employee from the work level to a personal level and then do that study, collate that information, and find out if there are employees that are going through that, speak to the management and make a suggestion that, you know what, if you can invest more on the well-being of your employees, then you will find yourself having a better staff attendance at work. You will increase your production, and you will have a much more harmonious and a much more accepting environment at work. And when employees know that there is that haven that is created by the employer, then they are able to come forward because it is a safe space where they are not directly linked to having to share with their own human resources within the company, but they are using an outsourced company that or individual that will now be able to say, listen, HR within this company, these are the challenges your employees are facing. These are the form of abuses they are facing. That's why certain employees are like this and like that. And then together they create that space so that an employee knows that I can always talk to somebody. I don't have to fall victim. I don't have to dodge work. I don't have to be someone just because I am not being attended to. So yes, they can do something about it. They have to invest in the well-being and take interest in their human resources.
Absolutely powerful response right there. I loved every single sentence of that response that you gave out. You know, if we could go to work and know that it's not just a place where we render our service, but a place where we are appreciated, we are seen, we are heard. Only God knows. Only God knows the kind of things that we would do for our workplaces. Oh my word. Now, for people that wish to speak out, they wish to, participate in the surveys and these random assessments, like you said, but there's always a stigma associated to being a victim of gender-based violence, and now they are afraid of how this will affect their professional relationships. Say, for example, it's the manager that's going through this, and I know the word here is professional, okay, people, to conduct these kind of settings, wellness programs, but the manager's thinking to himself, if I come out and say I've been abused, how will my colleagues or how will my employees look at me? What will they think of me? So in your opinion, how does this stigma associated with gender-based violence affect one's professional relationships in the workplace?
Kelly, as you are asking me this question, the word that comes to mind is relationship. When you have, as a manager now, when you have a good relationship with your subordinates, when you are able to, at a certain level, come to their level, allow them room to be, to be themselves, to express themselves, and not only in terms of talking about the challenges they face per se, but just being people. There's a time when you just have to be people within the working space. And there wouldn't be such a complexity as to how are they going to view me as a manager. But then again, we have environments where there is rigidness, where a manager has to act as a manager with authority, superiority, you name it. And in that case, I would say one needs to sit down with oneself and understand something. Before I am a manager, I am a person.
Wow.
And for me to be able to be assisted as a person, I need to relate as a person. So you use your managerial skills and experience to be able to see now, how do I best introduce the subject? Maybe not personalize it, but have a meeting, a random meeting, call it staff meeting for your subordinates and say, okay, as you know, this is December, 16 days activity against gender-based violence. Get to know from them what are their views, and then give your views based on your situation, but without exposing yourself. That's when your skills come in as a manager. And then making it seem like it's just a scenario and you are seeking to know how you can best help one another. In that case, you're protecting them, you're protecting yourself. At the same time, you are aiding yourself in the situation. Solutions don't always have to be complex. Sometimes you just have to be a human being and just be a normal human being and deal with everyday human being crisis at the level of being a human being with other human beings, and you are able to find a solution. And then from there, you can think, what is the next step? If you want to call somebody, there's a toll-free number somewhere. If you want to enroll yourself somewhere because you have the means and ways, assuming as a manager you get paid well, you go there. But clear the air at work so that maybe there is an employee with the grace of being able to see through and then attend to you privately. And then privately, if you feel comfortable as a manager, being a person to person, then you can get aid out of that, because it's amazing what employees can do.
Absolutely.
You know, I always say, just because you are a manager and I am a subordinate doesn't make me less able intellectually. But because the opportunity that was afforded to me was that of being a subordinate, because you already exist as a manager, then I have no choice but to subordinate under you, but then learn. But when you need help, I'm here.
Wow. Now, I know we still have a few more questions, but I see time is not on our side, and I'd love for us to continue this topic some other time. But I have to ask you this question. How can society as a whole, combat the stigma of gender-based, surrounding the survivors of gender-based violence? I know you spoke about the workplace and managers having to view their subordinates as humans just like they are humans, and maybe we can be able to relate and heal and from one another. Now, how can we do that as a society as a whole?
I said to my mother, what we lack as a society today is community leaders. Now, we had community leaders back then, maybe in the rural areas they still do. But before things can get out of hand, there is always that communal gathering where things are addressed, because each community comprises a family. If we have to tackle things shallow, we won't get to the crux of the matter. We will not get to the causal root of the matter. But it all goes back to the home. What is the manner of life in the home? You see, the worst stigma, especially for a man, the worst stigma for a man is to have a woman in the home who assumes the role of a man because economically they have been given power to be above a man in a workplace, for example. And that economical decision to uplift a woman and make her a head of a department where she is managing men becomes a problem when she gets home, because that cap is still worn even at home. That is the first stigma that we need to deal with. People need to be made understand that the rules and regulations that are being passed and policies that are being passed, they affect families, which in turn make things in such a way that a man will always want to protect his ego. He will always want to protect his maleness, if I can call it that. And so the stigma will not be helped if the cause of why we even have that stigma to begin with has not been tackled. So to say people must be made aware, awareness is being made, but is it making a difference, Kelly? It's not. It's not. Because why? It is not just about just the stigma. It's why are we even where we are today? Yes, there are exceptional cases where you find that a man is just out of his mind or a woman is out of her mind and she's acting however. But most of the things, it's because of the gender roles that have been changed, the abilities and the rights that have been given to women without addressing how these rights affect families and society in the community and then the whole country at large. Hence, we are dealing with a situation like this. It is not a woman's fault. It is not a man's fault. But that being said, we all can take part in it. that has contributed to where we are today.
It has been an absolute pleasure having you here on Career Campus, sharing with us your wisdom, your knowledge, your experiences in life and in the workplace. And I would love to say this to you on air, that I love you. Okay, I love you.